we had was we're going to talk about is from part 1, and it says, in what ways does selective breeding and the field mustard study prove evidence for evolution? And so as we talked about this, one of the things that really sticked out to us is that this was I guess, an example of change in allele frequency, because you looked with selective breeding that they would choose the traits that they wanted, especially from the mice story, and is a good example of that they chose the mice that could run faster or run longer, and then they breeded them together with each other, and then over a period of time they showed the difference in the characteristics they had. So I think that's the one big thing that stuck out to us from our readings.
And so we can see several examples if we look in selective breeding. One of the things that I added to our discussion was just that things like dogs can be a great example of selective breeding with all the different breeds that are out in the world today. And you can see that certain traits are handpicked by humans that are looked at as more desirable to see in these dogs. And so we can see examples of selective breeding all throughout our life around us.
Mm-hmm. And also, if we look at the field mustard study too, I looked at it as a good example of selective pressures, because you see how the different stocks, how they changed and the traits that were expressed over the period of the drought. So that's also a good example of how environmental pressures can have an effect on traits that we see expressed also.
So for the second part, we had questions 1 and 2. So the first question just went over comparative anatomy, and more specifically the man Andreas Vesalius. And so we were able to kind of pull out from the reading that he was kind of the guy known for challenging the common knowledge of human anatomy, and wrote his own detailed anatomy books. His work was the one that kind of laid the foundation for Darwin, just in the fact that it showed that these intellectual people shouldn't just blindly be obedient to the experts of that time. Do you have anything you want to add, Jason?
Oh yeah, and also I also noticed is that he also challenged Galilean's work from the beginning, because as he read or went through the cadavers or the corpses, he dissected them. He noticed a lot of flaws in Galilean's original work, and he noticed these contradictions, and he started realizing that there was a lot of flaws in his work, and he was also a force for change and for a new anatomy to be studied, or for when he got more accurate anatomy, I should say, for the human body. So
definitely. And then the second question was observation and natural theology. And so the two men that were highlighted in this section were William Harvey and William Paley. So Harvey was known for his discovery of the circulation of blood from the heart to the rest of the body, and that it's a closed system. And so his discoveries that he found in the early 1600s kind of helped understand that plants, animals, and organisms in general just have a complex machinery to them. So that's kind of what he was known for.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And to go along those lines, like we look at our bodies as as machines. I mean, obviously we're not like mechanical machines, but the idea, like as you said, that we're complex human beings. And at the time, a lot of people weren't really accepting of the idea, because they thought it went different from a lot of the religious beliefs at the time, I guess. But one main pusher was William Paley, who for natural theology, and then his writings were very, I guess, influential. I don't know exact date of when he started his writings, but it said in the reading that in mid 1800s it was had a huge influence on the time of how I guess how we looked at upon anatomy and the human body later on. So Do you have anything else to add?
I don't think so. I think that pretty much covers it.
All right. Well, I hope everyone enjoys watching this video. We look forward to talking with you and discussing things more and join the rest of the class. So, bye.